Hi guys, welcome back to another review, and I'm
Raging, brother.
So today, in this week's video, I'm breaking down and giving you the top 5 highlights from chapter 1057 of One Piece. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5. Yamato is staying in Wano, and this, at the time of, coming out of this chapter, was a controversial moment. And I just want to say, to anyone who's waited for this review from my channel personally, it's been a long time since I put out content. I got really backed up, but thank you for watching, and, let's have fun here. So Yamato, she's not coming with us because she is following, as we know, Odin's logbook to her growing up was a Bible. It was a guideline of how to live life. So she was like, man, I ain't trying to go with the Straw Hats, I ain't trying to be a part of a Yonko crew yet, She decides that she's going to follow Odin's journeys and, go through like how he went to Udon, how he went to all these different places in Wano before he met Whitebeard and went to sea. So that's what Yamato wants to fulfill in her journey of being like Odin. Now for me, I thought that was like, wow, because I'm like, Yamato, you've been talking the entire arc about how you wanted to come with us, join the Straw Hats, fulfill Ace's destiny, fulfill Odin's destiny, and to make this last minute change in story, like in the actual story, feels weird. As reading it week to week, it felt very disjointed and weird. However, I understand it. Oda, he got us. He's like, I'm gonna get you guys. Like, I got you. Like, to think about it in this sense, Yamato was a red herring because Yamato is a princess-like person. Even though she describes herself as a man in Odin, she's kind of the royal princess we run into with any island that we come in contact with. Any island we come in contact with, we always run into some royal woman who's a part of the ruling family. So if you can imagine, this is a whole unique different take that Yamato is that. She is that in the arc, which is mind-blowing, insanity, but that's what Yamato is in this story. So her potentially joining the crew, Oda, he Rebecca us, he carried us, he Rebecca us, he threw another female character in the mix to be a tag along for the arc. And you know what? I'm okay. Maybe Yamato and Carrot have a chance joining the Straw Hats later on in the future, as say we find the One Piece and we recollect them, or we go to the end of the New World and then we come back around. There's still a possibility that they can join the crew, but it's one of those things where you really want to see Yamato, a part of the crew, another strong female, and we didn't get that, so hopefully in the future, but for right now, that's my number 5. Coming in at number 4. I think that the narrator in this arc, and not the narrator who we usually know, but the narrator who in this chapter is teaching the story of what happened about the raid and turning that into legend, the entire raid event. Because if you look at this chapter, we've had a whole bunch of chapters going forward in the story already. This is the final chapter of Wano. The final chapter of Wano. And everything that happened in Wano, which is not going to be recorded on the outside of Wano because they don't know what happened, is going to become folktale and legend by this narrator who's teaching, the new Wano kids the history of the raid, the battle of Onigashima, and of Luffy. I feel like Luffy is always, throughout the story, gained credibility with every island he's gone to. And it's amazing seeing this character now going to an island that's isolated. No one knows about these people, and these people have their own story of Luffy and what he did for them. I believe that's amazing. Talking about all the things that happened over the course of this fight with the Beast Pirates, and turning that into a folk tale, a legend that's going to be passed down for generations, makes the One Piece experience feel so real and so connected to reality, because it's like we're getting this great thing that we're reading, but also in the world that it's actually in, people are also hearing about the same story. So it's pretty nice to see that. Coming in at number 3. So during the middle of this chapter, we see Momo and Luffy. We get the past of them, meeting in Punk Hazard and bickering back and forth. We get their interactions on Zoe and what these characters went through in that perceived point. And it is very interesting. We've been with Momo. I have been reading One Piece ever since Zoe. So I've seen Momo since then, but you gotta account the last 100 chapters before that, where Momo was in Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. So Momo's been around the story for a long, long time. If you're reading this as just regular chapter to chapter, you don't know how long Momo's been in the story. This is a big deal. This is a huge character Oda put a lot of work into, and to see him come full circle, to see him grow up, to see him be the leader, Shogun, finally of Wano, is amazing. But he has a problem with that, because Luffy didn't say goodbye to him. For gags, One Piece is always gags. So he didn't say bye to Luffy.
Really,
King
nigga?
Mon is, coming with him like, yo, we gotta show Luffy, you're the Shogun, he can't disrespect you. Yamato's like, this doesn't add up. Luffy's, a kind person and stuff like that. So they go to Tokage Port to attack Luffy. To straight up attack him. They tackle him down to the ground. And Momo, after that point, is crying. Crying over the fact, damn, man, we've been journeying so long, now I have to grow up and be this adult. How can I be strong without you? And my boy Luffy says, I got you, G, I got you. So he brings out the flag, busts it down. This is the flag of a Yonko. If anybody's coming to pick a fight with you, they gotta deal with me. They gotta deal with what I got to bring. And it's just amazing seeing Luffy, character come full circle. Because I don't even think he wanted to save Momo. I think the first time he met Momo, he wanted to eat him. And now it turned it into a little brother and older brother relationship, which has huge implications for the story going on in the future. Coming in at my number 2. The Supernovas officially disband. Law is talking after Luffy did this for Momo. It's like, yo, next time we see each other, it's on sight. And Kid was like, yeah, it definitely is well, man. I think he said that a couple chapters ago, but this officially ends the Supernova alliance between Luffy, Law, and Kid. It's over. It's done deals, finito. And I'm very happy we've seen all these characters come together throughout the arc. Throughout, we're talking all the way to Sabaody. They were the first people to come out of the auction house and fight against, the Navy. And now they're like the first Supernova alliance successfully to take down the 2 Emperors of the Sea. And, it's pretty nice seeing how far all these characters have come. Which leads to an amazing panel of these 3 ships led by these top supernovas jumping off the waterfall, just woo! We out there, Kid, he's talking that smack oh, you guys are kiddie for taking a little way down, Wano. how can you claim you're tough pirates? You weaklings deserve that. Luffy and Law, they're like, we're not having that. So they jump off Onigashima, off the waterfall, and we don't get to see what happens, how they land, but it's just an amazing panel to see them leave Wano in a spectacular fashion. Coming in at number 1, the ending of Wano. We didn't know that this week, okay? Reading this chapter the week it came out, I did not know that this was the officially last chapter of Wano. Everyone has been speculating what's going to be the ending of Wano. What is the ending of Wano? Act 3 end? Over. No Act 5, no Act 4. Act 3 is the official last act of this series. And nothing else, compares to it, We just had this huge arc fighting against Yonkos, and we finally see the person who initiated it all get the confirmation that they passed. Rochi is gone, boy. That boy is D-E-A-D. Gone. He's gone. And we see Komurasaki, telling Orochi that the Korozumis were born to burn, and not in a way that is racist, but in a way that reflects Japanese culture of, Korozumi and what it is in Japanese culture, which is charcoal, and how they use charcoal to burn things, and how it all ties back to Odin, who was meant to be boiled. So the villain and the guy who's trying to get back at balance each other out. They both were boiled by flames in the end, and got D-E-A-D taken out. And it's good seeing Hiyori had this good of a moment. We can't lie. Hiyori was probably in a huge traumatic state throughout the entire speculations of this arc, because she had to deal with Orochi for 20 years, plus be a courtesan and someone who had to get cozy up to Orochi in a way that is PG. We're not talking about the other X-rated way, which history shows, but PG, and I think that was enough for her. She really had a lot of animosity. You could see how Oda drew the emotion in her eyes, the tension, the anger with her, and finally getting to release that, seeing Orochi die, but also tell that to Wano and embrace this new dawn, which, you see the flower capital right before, the curtains close. It looks like Wano was just the way it was 20 years ago. Obviously, things have changed, but it looks like they've gotten back to the state that they wanted to be. And we ended off with the Akazaya 9, Momonosuke, Yamato, all together as one, coming together. And I just really enjoy these side characters. I think that in terms of what this arc did for the story, did it live up to the hype? In my opinion, it did. All these characters here were additions to the story that I personally enjoyed, regardless of what other people in the community think. I enjoyed these characters. I thought that they were really nice in the story. The Scabbards, they were loyal to Odin. They had a goal. They had a mission. People died. Izo died. Astrodoji died. People took the hard losses to make sure that Wano was open and, under the Kozuki, under the Kozuki's rule. And that is really nice to see in this story. So, if you like what I had to say in this video, make sure you leave a like. Also, comment down with your top 5 facts about, or things that you liked about this chapter. This is officially the last chapter of Wano, and I just want to appreciate it for what it was. It's been amazing. But I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.